Well, would you look at that? We're back in the studio. I'm joined by Curtis. We can see there's no James next to us, but that's all right. We'll motor on without him. Great to see you, Curtis.
Yeah, you too, Nick, and it's good to be back here. We've got 2 out of 3. Hopefully next week we'll have James, but it's good to be back.
Back where it all started. I've been able to hog the studio to myself the last couple of weeks while we've been recording, while you two have been stuck at home. So I've enjoyed it. I've kept the seats warm. I've sort of rotated between all of them, and today I'm in front of the red barrel.
Yeah, well, we didn't have to stop recording during the lockdown, which was good, but yeah, it's always nice to be back together.
Yes, it is good fun thanks to technology. It all motored on through, and we did enjoy it. Now, you did keep the wheels turning for us, Curtis, with a few of your reviews. You gave us the CX-3 and you gave us the Megane, a nice little hot hatch. Would you call it that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I don't think it fails to fit into that category. And I had a bit of fun driving it. I hadn't driven a Megane, so it was good fun. And look, there's a lot to like about the car. Would I put it at the top of my hot hatch list? Probably not. But, I probably have a little bit of bias. But it was a very nice car.
Now, that one was the Trophy.
Yeah.
So it came with a few extra go-fast bits. I'd say that they'd be the brakes. It had almost four-wheel steering as well.
Yep. The 4-control steering that's in the Renault. I've heard mixed reviews about whether that really does a great deal. Coming out of a Focus myself, I found the turning circle was really good with that 4-control steering. So I noticed it in tight. Whether it does anything on a racetrack or going fast, I'm not sure. Yep. But definitely, tight little turning circle was quite good. The other thing the Trophy edition had was the 19-inch rims, which with those red accents, interesting look. But the rest of the car, it's got a really wide body kit, quite an aggressive rear diffuser. It was a good looking car.
That's it. And they retail at just over that 60 grand mark, don't they?
Yeah, so the Trophy is 62, and just below that is the RS Cup, which I think is 55, 56, and then the RS is about 52.
Yeah.
Excellent. There is a Trophy R.
Really?
Which is 80.
Wow.
And that's got carbon fibre bits and all other stuff, but so there's a bit of a range there.
Yeah, very good. No, I did like it. I liked the way it looked. I didn't mind the red highlights, to be honest with you. And we did comment on the day. We said it's got a bit of orange, it's got a bit of black, it's got the red, and it had a bit of chrome splashed on it as well. But overall, it was a great looking car, and by the sounds of things, it deserves to be a bit of a hot hatch.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping to kind of build up a few reviews. We've done the A35, we've done the Megane. Obviously, I'm well acquainted with the Ford Focus, so hopefully maybe get a Golf, get maybe a Hyundai i30N.
I've seen those. They look really, really good. And look, the hot hatch market, in fact, the hatch market is a market that the novated lease driver does get behind. So a few of these hot hatch reviews or hatch reviews are going to be quite useful to add to our suite of SUV and dual cab reviews. Yeah. We've got a couple of special ones coming up, and we hope that everyone's going to enjoy those. But we have got an absence, and that one's James. And there was a question I was going to ask today, and that's based on a news report around personalised plates. Now, Mr. Vane himself, it would be the one most likely to have personalised plates. And what's your take on personalised plates? Let's forget about the whole Vic government wanting to be the owners of them because they're seeing some value in them. And the reason I ask is this afternoon on the way to lunch, we caught a vehicle or a car coming in the other direction with a personalised plate. And sometimes if you've got to take that few seconds too long to figure it out, is it worth it?
Yeah. Well, look, I don't mind personalised plates. Yeah. I've thought about getting ones myself. Purely, I was just been too lazy to actually organise it. Yeah. I have thought about, do you try and be clever and come up with something. I think I'd probably just do my initials or something pretty basic.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to think how some of them are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars just for a combination of numbers.
Well, those historic ones, those enamel plates that we've seen on some of the high-end cars especially. I mean, what did we read an article on one that sold for $250,000, and then the most expensive one sold at a Shannon's auction recently for over $1 million.
Number 26, I think it was. 1.1 million. Blows my mind.
Yeah,
Look, I'm not against the personalised plate.
Well, I actually think that's a question we could put to our viewers. Maybe they can share their thoughts on some of those personalised plates. If they've seen one that they've tried to figure out and taken a couple of blocks to work out what it was, I'd like to hear the story behind that. So please let us know if there's any, if you have one, or if you've got thoughts of the recent battle in New South Wales about that chap with his Lamborghini that had quite a controversial plate, which I think they ended up taking back off him.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's funny. You see, I've seen a couple that you just think, they did all right to get that past. You know, the eyes that obviously checked certain plates off, but obviously one they thought, hang on, we didn't think about this one properly, and they've taken it back off him.
Yeah, well, being a Nick, that's a good Greek name, and locally, or frequently going to a suburb called Oakley, which is mini Greece here in Melbourne. You'll see a couple of cars, they get away with a number plate that'd be pretty controversial. For the Greeks, they'd look at it and they always have a bit of a chuckle when they see those cars drive past. I won't name and shame anyone. We don't want to do that. But we want to hear from our viewers about some personalised plates. And please keep any ideas that you have on vehicles that you want us to review for you, because we'd love to review what you'd like to see us getting behind the wheel of.
I think this week we've released our review of the C63. That was a car that you were very excited to drive, Nick. So not so much one for our novated lease inclined people, but if you're interested in cars and particularly V8s, it's a great car. We had a bit of fun reviewing that one.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give too much away, but it's definitely muscle car worthy in my eyes. Yeah. So that's why I was chomping at the bit to get behind the wheel of that one.
Yeah, great.
But I think we might leave it there for now.
Yep.
We do miss our friend James. We would love to see him back here, and we're kind of glad that he wasn't here, because Muscle Man would have probably had a go at us for picking on him about the vanity plates, but that's all right. He'll live. So on that note, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining me again, Curtis, and we'll see you next time on EziTorque.